All right, let's go ahead and bring in Avery Johnson, former NBA Coach of the Year, and of course, NBA champion, our champion here at CBS Sports HQ. And Avery, you look at it, Jimmy Butler, he talked about it, man. They wanted to play with more desperation, wanted to show more fight, and play with more force. The Miami Heat played great in the first quarter. The Nuggets pretty much controlled everything in the second and third quarter. And fourth quarter, they were up 85-78. And then the Miami Heat going a huge run, 29-10. They get a 12-point lead, and then the Nuggets come right back, a 13-4 run to close the game. It needed to be 16-4 if they wanted to tie the game. Jamal Murray missed that three there at the buzzer. What did you make of the Miami Heat and getting that huge win in Denver and evening this NBA Finals here at one game apiece, Avery?
The Miami Heat is not a great offensive rebounding team. So if they score 15 or more threes, which I predicted, they're going to win every game in this series. 17 threes tonight. They were unbelievable. This is a first and a fourth quarter lead. I've coached in the league before. I want to talk about the fourth quarter, but you also have to worry about the first quarter. The Miami Heat was unbelievable tonight to start this game. A lot of momentum. They shot 69% from the field in the fourth quarter. 17 threes. They were unbelievable. A lot of balance in their scoring, and that's why they won this game tonight.
Yeah, you look at it, the Denver Nuggets, they shot 52% on their home floor, scored 100 points. Joker with 41 points. The assists were down there for Nikola Jokic. He only had like 4 assists. We're used to seeing more from him with the triple-double. But how about the 6 players with multiple threes there, tying an NBA Finals record there for the Miami Heat? That was the difference in the ball game, 17 threes to 11. How important was the three-point shooting for the Miami Heat, which you predicted, Avery, going into this game?
Absolutely. You know, Strus was 0 for 6 in game 1. But outside of the Miami Heat's offense, let's look at the adjustments they made. They figured out, hey, we want Jokic to beat us from an offensive standpoint. They want him to score 41 points, they'll live with it, but not the triple-double. And he only had 4 assists tonight. They're going to force him to score. They don't want to get the other guys involved. And you can see the adjustment that Eric Spoelstra made going into game 2.
Yeah, you look at Nikola Jokic, 41 points, had the double-double, 11 rebounds there and the 4 assists. What is it, Avery, about this Miami Heat team? We're looking at an 8 seed, right? They took out the top seed, the Bucks, took out the number 1 team in the NBA for most of the year with the Boston Celtics. Now they get the top seed out west, even that series up there. They're like Michael Myers. They're like Jason Voorhees. You just can't kill them. Avery, you have to stomp on their face with a hobnail boot if you want to knock out this team, Avery.
Yeah, you're right. They're like Jason Bourne. We've seen those Bourne Identity movies. And, hey, I'm getting on the plane tomorrow. I'm going to Miami. I'm excited to be covering game 3 and 4 for CBS Sports HQ. But the main thing is this Miami team, they got the right culture, coaching, competitive spirit, character, communication. This team really cares about one another. They're not going to go down without a fight. So this is not a shock. This is a team that beat Milwaukee and Boston in the Eastern Conference. So Denver hasn't really been tested, especially against the Lakers. So I'm really looking forward to these games 3 and 4 in Miami.
Yeah, going into game 2, the Miami Heat talked about how uncomfortable they were and how comfortable the Denver Nuggets were. It looked like the roles were reversed here in game 2. Looks like the Nuggets were a little uncomfortable. We talked about Jokic had a great game. Jamal Murray, pretty decent game there. But it was the three-point shooting that was the difference. If you're the Denver Nuggets, we always talk about adjustments here, Avery. What sort of adjustments can the Denver Nuggets make heading down to South Beach, the 305, heading into game 3 Wednesday night?
Well, similar to what Miami adjustments were against Denver. Just allow Jimmy Butler to score as tough buckets as he can, but the others, you have to minimize their success. Whenever Miami has 4 or 5 guys in double figures and they're shooting the ball well from the three-point line, they're going to be hard to beat. So just guard Jimmy Butler, shut down everybody else. If they're 1 pass away, deny them, make them go backdoor, make those guys like Strus, Lowry, all those guys. But and Kevin Love in the starting lineup. I've been calling for this for 2 games. I knew that would be a factor in today's game. Even if he only scored 8 points, spreading the floor, making a guy like Jokic, box out behind the three-point line, that's going to be critical for their success.
Yeah, and that was important as well for the Miami Heat. You look at it as well, Avery here. Jimmy Butler talked about playing with force, the physicality. How much did that bother the Denver Nuggets on their home floor Sunday night there? And how do they sort of change that around and deal with that? How will that impact them in Game 3 and the rest of the series here? Because the Miami Heat are going to be a very physical team as they get back on their home floor down there at the CBS Sports.
Larry, the team coming off of a series where they've won a 7-game against a team that's been rested for 9 days. Actually, Miami could have beat Denver in the first game. But, they got to get used to that style of play. But a team like Miami, they're rested. Unlike the team like Denver, they're over-rested. They've been sitting out for too long. Miami, they're ready to go. So they're going to get back, get in play. Jimmy Butler is unbelievable. Jimmy Butler, arguably, outside of Jokic, has been the best player in the NBA playoffs. He's been unreal. And they're coming off of a 7-game series. And I've been in a series situation before where I was waiting for a team for 12 games in a 1995 NBA playoff Western Conference. We were waiting for the Houston Rockets. They went to a 6-7 game with the Phoenix Suns. And man, a lot of times you think rest is the best situation. Not necessarily.
All right, as we look at Game 3 here, Avery, and you're looking at the Denver Nuggets, you like Nikola Jokic, you like the 41 points. How does he get more involved with the assist? Because I think you're onto something here, and I was thinking the same thing. They can live with the 41 points. It's the triple doubles. How important is that for the Denver Nuggets, for that man, the 2-time MVP, to make sure he's dishing out and getting others involved here? We saw Jeff Green and some others get involved at points, but not as much as they were in Game 1, and of course, as much as they were earlier on in the playoff run for these Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, if I was getting ready for this team, you got to figure out what you want to cut off. You can't really control rebounds, but the two things you can control are points and assists. And you have to make a decision. And you can see Eric Spoelstra made a decision that he will live with the points, but he's going to cut off all the assists. He wants to limit his, hockey assists, not even just point-blank assists. So going into this next game in Miami, we'll see what happens. They want to force Jokic to score, rebound, play defense, but they're not going to allow him to be a playmaker.
Good job for the Miami Heat Sunday night. A more aggressive Bam Adebayo, more aggressive Jimmy Butler. Kevin Love inserted into the starting lineup for Caleb Martin, who had an illness, and they knocked down almost 50% of those three-pointers, 17 of those. They've evened up this series at 1. He is CBS Sports NBA insider and analyst Avery Johnson, former Coach of the Year and NBA champion. Avery, enjoy Game 3 on Wednesday night and have some fun down there, bro, in the 305. I know you will. The final schedule here is we're tied at 1. Miami gets that split there in Denver. Game 3 Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, the Kaseya Center there near Biscayne Boulevard. Game 4 will be Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's also in Miami. Then Game 5, June the 12th. The scene shifting from the Magic City back to the Mile High City. That's 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Once again, NBA Finals tied at 1 heading into Wednesday night's Game 3.